It's another day of rebuilding the 4020 engine. The one thing I want to do next is put in a crankshaft, but before I do that, I need to have access to clean out the O-rings and replace those for the cylinder liners. So, starting at the rear of the engine, I've done the first three sets here, and these liners, there's actually this red O-ring that goes around and supports it, and then there's a black O-ring on the coolant side. So red O-ring goes to the oil side, black O-ring goes to the coolant side, and then there's a little channel in the middle, and that channel is supposed to capture either coolant seeping through or oil seeping through so they don't get mixed in with one another. And then it's supposed to put those out of these weep holes. Anything that's caught, you have these weep holes that it will just seep out of, and we actually had that for a few of these. It was seeping coolant out of about half of the weep holes here. So if I was to take a pick here and put it in, you can actually see out the side there that pick comes out and moves around. So we're going to get started here on the front three, and I just wanted to take you through one of them as I do it. So here we are looking at the O-ring. I have a few tools that I'm going to use to get out these O-rings. The first and primary one is just this little scoop on one side and a pick on the other side. I have some wire brushes and then some flathead screwdrivers and a small little odd 80 Allen wrench just in case I need to clean out the port. Little weep hole port. I'll zoom in here and try and get it set up. There we go. The red ones come out pretty easy, but the black O-ring, it's a little bit different. So just starting with the red one here. That one's not bad at all. There we go. There's the red O-ring out. Onto the black O-ring. These ones on the back three were an absolute bear to get out. But it won't be too bad, hopefully. They're definitely a lot harder. It'll take a lot more patience. I can get it in there just enough to get the scoop in, but not much more. I'm going to keep working it from another angle and be right back. I'm back a little bit and I've made some headway here. Hopefully you can see. And if my arm makes it blurry, I apologize. But we're able to get in a little bit more here. I'm going to try the pick side some. There we go. Perfect. I hope that's fairly focused for you. This O-ring is definitely the dirtier of the sides, naturally, with all the coolant. It almost flattens out, which is the reason a lot of coolant was able to pass through over time. Yeah, if you can see that, apologies if you can't. There we go. It's almost flat on the inside edge where it's been riding on the liner. So hopefully new ones here will get us back up and running again. Another thing I do is I run this metal pick on the inside of lightly on where the O-ring sits, very lightly, but definitely on the inside of what is connected to the weep hole, that channel, and you'd be surprised at the amount of dirt you can get through. And then I'll take a wire brush over the entire thing and clean it on up prior to putting in the new O-rings. Here all three channels are cleaned up, so we'll start with putting our black O-ring in. It's wanting to start coming through the other side. There we go. One in. Make sure we're still focused. And here's the second. Red O-ring toward the oil, black O-ring toward this coolant. Apologies for the second hand in there. I'll get out here in just a second. There we go. Do that for all 6 of them, and we'll be on to the next job. Thanks.